how do we start the show now?
Well, it's midnight at the Crossroads now, so if you want to do your welcome.
You know what I think the best thing? Why don't you welcome us in the show?
Because I suck at that. I can close it. David's actually really good at closing.
We're just going to
midnight at the Crossroads.
Welcome to Midnight at the Crossroads.
Yeah.
You don't have it back yet, do you?
Yeah.
Where you just like kind of have that spiel where you're like, hey.
Did you start recording?
Well, I think it's because we're missing the intro music.
Yeah.
Really?
Which really kind of hurts. I know because it always kind of helped me and Sean
Did you just
amp
start
up.
recording?
Yeah.
I suggest you start recording.
But you know,
It's a cold open.
But you know, I'm not the same person, so it's hard to kick off. Because here's the thing, like we talked, we'll get it. Like the whole thing about the trip we were on this past weekend. People are not going to get the same me. Because I'm not that me anymore. You know, that make any sense?
It does. Absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
It's time, I mean, a lot of people's grown up.
We've talked a lot about like the old Sean and all that, but it ain't really something that exists anymore.
No, I mean, it's a completely different me. But that's not a bad thing. The old Sean was a shit. No, really. And, you know, I really was. And, you know, even like with the investigations, I was so conceited with things, kind of in my own right, that undeservedly so. And I think with my conceit, I lost the joy a little bit too. You know what I'm saying? I kind of lost what it was about. Yeah. And I think that's some of the things that you have to get back into.
Had to get stripped back down, I guess.
Yeah. Well, hell, I got raped.
I don't know how much more strip can you get?
Well, like you kind of needed it though, right?
Yeah, I did. You know, I did. You know, I think I'm better than I've ever been before with the work.
I think even though you kind of joke and you're like, yeah, you know, I'm not happy. This is the face of a happy man, blah, you know, you kind of do that. I think you actually are way happier than you've been for the last, 5 years?
Oh, man, longer than that. I really think longer than that. You know,
Probably.
You think about it, you know, at the point, at the end of our radio show, that last part of that time period with us, we wasn't ourselves anymore. We was burnt out. No. We was tired. No. We was bitter.
Resentful of each other.
We just done.
Yeah, we was just done. And I think that was something that...
It's funny if you go back and listen to the last probably 4 radio shows we did, you could really tell in the work we were putting out that you're right, it's just done.
Fire wasn't there.
Yeah.
No. But I mean, think about how long we actually did that show.
Years.
It was a long, long time.
Yeah.
We really, and I hope people remember our show, and I hope we can get new people to listen to what we're going to do now and our new endeavors and how we go out forward. Because to me, this is not us beginning again. This is just us just picking up where we left off in a better place. Does that make any sense?
It's something new for sure. It's not the old show.
No,
I think we've grown also individually, but spiritually and mentally. We've grown up.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, you don't believe that?
I do.
I mean, we're a little bit more serious.
Maybe spiritually, but maybe not mentally.
But Jake, we look at a lot of things at a different angle in light now than we did.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: if you go back and listen to our old shows, a lot of things we said was going to happen, it has happened. It has come to pass.
Everything.
That's true. If you go back and listen, which I actually have, you can hear the bitterness. It is horrible.
But the bitterness really wasn't even with us 3. It was just with our life.
Yeah, like in one show, I think a show that I actually have up, I dressed, she who should not be named down bad. And maybe that was a little unprofessional.
Yeah.
And that happened a lot to everybody. Like you, Sean, you dressed me down. David would tear up his mic.
I love tearing mics up.
But
it's okay.
But you know what? When people listen to our show, they got the real us.
Yeah,
they got what we was going
completely
through, who we were.
Unfiltered.
And I think that's what made our show good at that time, because we was able to give you who we were and what was going on with us. And pretty much what was going on with us is that we was bitter with our own personal lives, was bitter with each other, was bitter with what's happening in the community, and bitter with the direction things was going. And
the paranormal community.
God, and I'm not bitter with that no more. I'm completely at peace. If you're going to put me in that community, I'm cool with it. Put me there.
Now, you know what's kind of weirded me out about us talking about all this stuff is we're putting it in context for a lot of people that used to listen to the show we did. And this is going to a completely new audience.
Yeah.
Whose main the things they've ever heard from us are the little radio story, the little stories we did.
Yeah.
And one old radio show that I put up.
Yeah.
And an interview I did with people.
Yeah.
Me. The driest out of the three of us. Mr. Personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole interview, I'm like, man, we should really have Sean on here. But I knew you couldn't because it was a bad part of life.
I don't even feel like I don't think I can entertain you. Like, I don't know if I could even entertain back then. But I think I have like Hump said, we matured. I think I have a truth now. I'm not gonna butter your bread. Whatever bread comes out of the oven, that's what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? And we had the ability to butter it and make it seem a lot better. But things are pretty much as they are.
Lactose intolerant.
Yeah. I don't know why we did that. I don't know why you had to. That we looked at that angle of buttering bread, or we're gonna give you a certain. We almost like what you want to hear. We're gonna give you what you want to hear.
That was always a point of contention between me and Sean. Actually, it really was.
Yeah.
Because he'd be like, well, people like it. And I'll be like, who's these people?
Yeah.
But, people did. They wanted to hear that.
And Mr. David Humphrey was the voice mainly saying people like it.
Yeah, but you know what?
That's right.
And he was talking about two of his buddies in the chat.
We had a conversation, going this past weekend. We went to Brushy Mountain thing, and the conversation came up like when I got started. What did I want to get out of this?
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying, I was really thinking about it. When I got started, what I wanted to get out of it is that I wanted to be at the point when I'm an old man, people looked at what we did as something as basically was different. What we did was out of the norm. What we did was groundbreaking thought process, and we did all of that, right? We really did it. We did things completely out of the norm, completely out of everything else. But at the same time, while I did it, everything I was stood against, I was trying to put us in.
Yeah.
And I think and then while I was trying to put us in something I never felt comfortable with, I don't think I was ever completely fair when I spoke at a lot of the events and things, because I would tell you what a lot of times what they would want to hear. But I was at the point in my life and even our career in this field, honestly, where I could tell you from my experience, and you and I had a long conversation, Hump, a long time ago in New Orleans, that we want to be able to tell you this is from our experience. And from what our experience wasn't what people wanted to hear, and I wouldn't tell them. And I think that's one of the things that kind of backed me off, if that makes any sense at all.
I recently accepted, I think, that I have no idea what the people that listen to this kind of thing want to hear, because I am so weird.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of like me in most tastes of my life. The movies I've got, all that. Most other people don't have the same. You guys are much better at marketing what we do to a certain audience. Like that one dude that was your buddy from, was it Mississippi?
Mississippi, yeah.
What's his name?
But this goes back to what Sean's saying.
Yeah.
It's a growth. I mean, it's a different plateau that we were trying to get to. And then I think it all has to do with individual growth and maturity. I mean, I think the past 6 years, we've completely changed. Our lives have changed. Everything about us has changed. But people still know who we are. And Sean, you were talking about, when your kids get older, for stuff that they're going to want to remember. But people still remember the work that's been out there. That still, people ask me still today about the paranormal and things we've done and supernatural and all these cases. So, I mean, it's still out there. We've just had to take a break and really, I guess, find ourselves, do some soul searching.
I will say, like, the stuff that we dish up when we put out content, really us, maybe not everything that's on the channel right now. That's all kind of just personal little anecdotes and things. And there's one, called The House, which is about the house on South Perry that you guys did.
Yeah.
But when we really get into the weird stuff, which is the stuff at least I like, I love the just completely out there, you can't believe it sort of a thing where, Sean, at least you used to feel really uncomfortable talking about. No one else does it. No one else does it. Else. Like, they only touch at it. They only touch on it in other shows that even discuss this kind of material that I've seen.
Well, I think it's fair to everybody's listening to us the first time out.
Yeah.
Is that they actually kind of know who we are. And I think we really need to give them an introduction.
We really do. And
the best way I can do it is, I guess we can start with ourselves. And I'm going to probably speak for all of us, and we can all do it. We'll do it individually. But, you know, I will say that we, as a team, and not a paranormal team, but we as investigators, individuals, we have investigated, I would honestly say, probably over 500 private cases.
Yeah,
easily.
Not including the public, you know.
Yeah, and we've had, and I've had the ability, the honor to investigate all over the United States, public places, and we've had the honor to be able to work cases from cold cases, UFO abductions, crypto cases, you name it. We had the ability and the honor to research it and investigate it. So if you look at us, our experience in this field is far beyond than what a lot of normal paranormal teams would do. And when we first got started in this, our specialty was working some of the darker cases before it got popular.
I mean, you kind of spearheaded what we are now, Sean. And I think one of the very first cases you ever did was a dark case. And when we say dark, we mean like a demonic entity, whatever you want to put in that bucket.
Yeah. And you know, the weird thing about it, Hump and I have been involved doing this since we was kids, and Jake has on his own right, but Hump and I basically together doing these stuff since we've been kids. And when I first started kind of really seriously doing this, I hooked up with a paranormal team, and for some reason, the gentleman that did it, he's since passed, said, you know, I want you, this is what you need to be doing. This is absolutely what you need to be doing. And one of the first cases I worked was a dark case. It was a case that I worked with some famous individuals that's well known in the demonology world, or ever how you want to say it, from up north. The original that was on the original taps. I was there when where legitimate Catholic priest came in, and one of our brothers that since passed was with us on that. Well, I took him along with me, and since then, you know, we went down that wormhole, and you can never come back. But you know, honestly, we can say when we speak that was the first one. But you know, Hump and I have always been involved and tested the road, tested things for a long, long time, probably a lot more than most people should. And even to this day, what we have all gone through with our families, I think, even with some of the people we've lost over the years, I think it is part of the fallback of what we've done over the years with touching in this world. Because once you cross that line, you can't go back. You just can't go back.
You're absolutely right with that.
You made a good point about introducing ourselves. No one knows whose voice is whose. So
yeah. Well, I'm Sean.
I'm Jake.
I'm David.
And because we call you Hump all the time. So
yeah, well, I'm Hump. Yeah, we don't need to use David.
You're David and Hump.
Yeah, because... Yeah.
How about Dave?
You know, Dave, I'm three people. Dave, David, and Hump.
Dave is always so creepy with you for some reason.
Hey, Dave. Good job, Dave. I had somebody message me on Messenger today and say, hey, Dave. And it's just so creepy.
They say, hey, Dave, quit messaging your wife.
Hey, Dave.
Oh, the paranormal postman.
Yes. Oh, wow.
Wow.
So much controversy.
Well, think about this, though. Over our years, think of how nobody's ever outworked us.
Nope.
No.
Nobody's ever made as many public apologies.
That's the truth. But, you know, I'll tell you, I think it's a good time for us to get back involved. And it's not because we're special. I'm going to go ahead and put this out there, and I've heard it several times, even recently, that there is no such thing as anybody that's a specialist in this field. I don't believe it. I just think, or experts. You know, I don't think there's any such thing as a specialist or expert.
Well, you have to have an established, you know, that gives you the impression that there's an established science to anything that goes on.
And, you know, when I was talking this weekend, when I just started getting in conversation about the paranormal field and all that, I would clarify that, you know, I am not saying I'm an expert, and I'm telling you, once you get involved in this field, you got to be open to change and willing to change your beliefs as long as you got a firm faith in God. And that's something that I used to say a lot, but that life has taught me that's one of the truest statements you can make, because what I think's out there and what I think we encounter is not what a lot of the people want you to think you encounter. You know.
True. Yeah. If you even go into what a ghost is, that's not completely established either. Like people say, "Oh, it's a human spirit." Not necessarily. I mean, you have your own personal interactions, like say with like a past grandmother or aunt or something. You know, that's one thing. But do you really believe like a Civil War soldier still haunts a hotel?
No. And you know
that's a little harder pill to swallow.
And you know, we talked about this, and I had some people really look at me funny once they talked in the group. You know, and that's okay. I mean, I don't take any of this personal, yeah. But in my experience and what I think, and y'all can tell me if y'all agree or disagree. And that's the cool thing about our team is that we've always been openly if we disagree. If you have a home with paranormal activity, and somebody says they see a kid, and they're Christians, or you know, there's a house with one way, they believe something. It's going to feed off of it, and it's going to take that shape thought creates. I do not believe. I used to tell you I believe in earthbound spirits. I believe in dimensional beings. I believe in loved ones. It's always love bonds continue on that other side, and I believe in residual energy. But I can I can tell you from my experience, which it can change. But I think 99% of you think earthbound spirits are mimics, and they mimic what thoughts put out there, and that's why they're in places where you deal with fear energy, addiction energy, anything like that they can feed off that vibration and take those forms to attack you.
And we found that, you know, we've repeated that experiment several times in places like where. In one place, we'd send in a team of investigators. They're like, "Yep, it's a ghost." We'd send in a pastor. "Yep, it's a demon." And it would just be whatever they thought it was. Outside, you know, and the phenomena that people would see or experience, like cold spots, whatever, that would change whatever they wanted it to be.
Yeah. What do you think, Ed?
I agree with that. But also, like Moundville with the little girl.
Yeah.
That was a good one. But what about if the family, if thought creates that's they want that to be a little girl. Like in their minds, the Christian-based family, they want that what they're seeing is to be the little innocent little girl, and it's actually not. But is that because their their minds are wanting it to believe that that's a good, you know, a good spirit, or whatever bucket you want to put that in?
You know, in my experience, and even with my faith, I can't imagine a God that's going to leave a kid on this plane by themselves.
That's
alone.
true.
I just can't imagine it. And you know, one of the things that we've always asked when we interviewed people, and it's come up several times recently, is that you need to always check things 3 times. See if they have feet. If they don't have feet, that's a good sign. If they speak to you or they speak to whoever out there and their mouth don't move, that's a good sign. And also, you start dealing with the ones that have black eyes. That's another good sign.
A very apparent sign, right?
Yes, that's definitely a good one. But you know, you start doing things like that and investigating and research. You know, you'd be amazed how many people that we've come across over the years that's been in this field that has had amazing things happen to them, and they don't want to share with everybody.
That's true. We, you know, being in all those conventions that we were at, that we spoke at or whatever, you saw that a lot. Like whenever you got them alone with coffee or whatever, David took his shirt off, they'd start telling you stories.
You're absolutely right. But look at just what happened today on Facebook. Put the story about the black-eyed kids, and it got people thinking, it got people commenting, you know, and these are normally people that, you know, really I wouldn't think knew anything about paranormal stuff, and they started commenting. So you're absolutely right. That's when, you know, like the state trooper in Prattville walked up to Sean after the gathering we had, and he wanted to tell a story of stuff he saw.
He saw the werewolf guy run across the road in the middle of the night.
So I agree with that.
There was one other officer, was it in Birmingham, that told us that crazy story about the
it was in Clinton.
Possessed guy?
Oh, the possessed guy was Birmingham.
Yeah.
The possessed guy was Birmingham, yeah. But we, if we did a better job of really saving our data and really documenting the way we should have, we would be able to do a lot of great things in this field, and we really hadn't never done the job we should have.
And you know why I think that is?
Why's that?
Because we don't really give a crap about the field.
That's true.
And documentation was time consuming.
It's always been about the personal experience and who we can help.
It's always been about the story.
That's right.
And that's the thing that I think separates us quite a bit from a lot of other paranormal enthusiasts, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
Is that we don't come in, show up. Yeah, it's a demon. Bye.
Yeah.
We're the people you call when that happens.
But I do know a few groups in Alabama that would do that.
But here's the thing.
We trained a few.
A lot of the groups that would do that we've been blessed enough that no matter what they might publicly say, they will always still call us to work the cases that they think they need it, and that's a great thing. And
it's good that we were there. Otherwise, what would have happened?
Yeah, and I'm going to share you guys. These past weekend, I had the opportunity to go with Ash, Marty, and them to go to Brushy State Penitentiary in Northern Tennessee. And how long has it been since I've been on an investigation?
I don't even know.
It's got to be over 6-7 years.
It's hard to get you out of your backyard.
I was really hesitant to go. I didn't know, but I knew I needed to get out. And I wanted to break Jake or get somebody to go with me. But I was like, I have to do this alone. I really just need to go with them and kind of have that own experience and see can I light that fire and see. I knew I was supposed to go.
Yeah.
And I was really blessed to have that opportunity. We got there. It's a wonderful place. It's extremely cool. It was cold and rainy, and basically what I needed, I got there. You know what I'm saying? I needed that chance when we was kids hunting. We'd go to the cemeteries. We would go to Huntington College, or we would go things where we just wanted to enjoy the experience. I kind of got that back. But as always, what's really that has been, I guess, a part of us for so many years is that on our way home, we dropped Marty and them off, and before we could come home, decided to go to the Catholic Church. What is it called again, Jake? The Mother Sacred
Sacrament?
Yeah, the
Holy Sacrament?
Yeah, Holy Sacrament. It's in Hansville, Alabama, and it's in the middle of nowhere. It really is. Mm-hmm. And we've been numerous times, and when we arrived there, we parked and it was empty. Completely empty on a Sunday afternoon, right? And always I can tell you stuff, and it comes down to I can't make this stuff up, right? I just can't make it up. Got out of the car, started walking up the steps, and here comes this little old nun out of the place. She makes her way out of now. If you go there, there's got the main Catholic church on the left hand side. On the right hand side, you got the castle part. That's very much like the Temple stuff and whatever. So I kind of hang out right at the bottom of the steps and just kind of seeing what am I going to do. I couldn't tell if it was open or where we was. So the little old lady comes down, and I'm like, this lady is heading right toward me. She is walking right toward me.
She would come up and speak.
She walks up to me, reaches her hand out, introduces herself, and she grabs both of my hands and holds onto it like she's reading me. Tells me where she's from. She's from Ohio, how long she's been there. And told me we've been there all these how many times have we been? About 6 times?
At least
probably.
She
said you go in there and you go through those doors right there on the left and you can go tour it. And you can go down and see the tombs and everything.
Wow.
And I was like, huh? And she's like, go ahead. And then by the time I did, a car pulls up. It was it wasn't a taxi, but it was like a car service picking her up. She got in the car, drove off. And I went in. I was able to see the replicas of the original Shroud of Turin. I guess is that what you call it, Jake?
Yeah.
Down in the basement. Now you have to go. You go through the place, and there's the armed guards, right? Mm-hmm. He tells you just walk down the steps, go through. You can look around. I had a chance to look around everywhere. When you make your way downstairs, it changes. It's almost like a vibrational energy, right? And you've got the original copies or replicas of the Shroud of Turin. Then you ease on back to these big double doors, right? And then you have the tombs of the nuns in there, in the bottom part. And the altars and the candles. And it was one of the experiences that I needed to kind of reinforce me spiritually to get back to what I'm doing. I think when you get to a point, as you said, we've grown up a lot, David. I think we have. I mean, we've absolutely grown up a lot. But one thing that we really have is that we have learned to appreciate our friendship. And I've individually, because when I got away on everything. I just quit and got away from everything in life. And I've learned to appreciate things that matter again. And I think that's one of the things I needed to do to progress spiritually and as a father and who I am as a man is to go forward from that point on. And there's still a lot more work for us to do.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, we ain't even got into the past 5 years of the theories and thoughts. I mean, this world's out of control.
We've been out of it for so long. I'm eager to see what we missed, really. Like what's happened in those years that everything was dormant. But with us, because the world turned around us, we just weren't plugged in.
It's not that dormant. I mean, I think things
That's
are really
what I'm saying.
out of control.
Yeah.
I think we got to sit back and watch it. Everything that we thought and talked about for all them years is, played out. It played out right in front of our eyes.
I think that it's portrayed to be a lot more out of control than it really is. I think on certain levels it's really out of control, but
okay, Jake.
I think a lot of people are coming back toward their values they grew up with, more so than I think that there's been a terrible moral erosion.
Oh yeah. For
probably the past decade, and I think we're seeing a lot of people recognizing that and changing.
Yeah, one of the things that I think that if you're in this field, and if you've been in this field as long as we have, you have an obligation. You have an obligation now, and I used to never would say this like this. You have an obligation to pick a side and work, because if you're in this field enough, and if, like I'm saying, if you watch TV enough, you can clearly see there is something good going on and there is something evil going on. There is a battle. There's a battle for your soul. There's a battle in this physical world and the spiritual world. And you have an obligation to pick. And you have an obligation to whatever side you pick. If you pick the good side, and there's a good side, you got to have a spirit of bravery where you have faith in God and you're not going to be afraid. And I think that's something that I witnessed several times, that people in this field, they say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to investigate, but let me do my blessing and stuff to protect myself. Let me tell you something, partner. There's nothing you can do, because you got to take that armor off at some point.
Yep.
Too many books. Too much TV with that. You got to be in it through and through. You can't just put on your ghost hunter shirt and take it off and that be it.
Here it's as simple as this. If you in this is just as a hobbyist and you come across something that wants to attack you in dark, it's like catching you a case of herpes. It's not gonna ever go away. It's gonna go and come back and tell us about it, David. I'm joking.
Valtrex, man.
No, but think about it. Once you get it, it's gonna always come and go.
Well, you can see it in people's lives. I mean, they go through failed marriages. I mean, they go through.
Good shot. Return fire.
No, I mean,
battleship.
They're a weekend warrior. They put their paranormal shirt on and they go around. Yeah. They finally get a hold of something.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden their job is affected by it, their lives, their families. They bring it home. And I mean, everything spirals out of control with it. So absolutely, there's going to be a war between good and bad. And people are choosing sides now, and you can see it in real time. Yeah, the lines are a lot more clearly defined, I think.
Yeah, but this is something I don't know. I don't know if it's this time period in the world, if it's changed, or is this something I was completely wrong about over the years. I used to say, and even on our show, that sometimes you have to do a little bad, have a little bit of bad to understand and fight that stuff. Mm-hmm. That was absolutely 100% the wrong advice to tell anybody.
Yep.
You have to choose one path. There is no such thing as two paths. Now, you're on your righteous path. You're going to fall short. You're going to make mistakes. We all have vices, and whatever our vice is, we're going to get attacked at that vice. But you have to choose a path of righteousness to do it, and there's nowhere around it, because if you don't, you're basically mocking what you're trying to attack and fight.
Yeah, you got to get back up after getting beat down like David's Mike.
Here's the thing, though, with that. I think you just didn't articulate that statement. I think that you have to be, look, you got good and bad, right?
Yeah.
And you were talking about, well, you got to do a little bad, but you're not. You are absolutely a soldier for God in this army. You have to be tough. You have to be a rough cut diamond, and you have to know the bad, but you're still a soldier for God, for good. And you cannot, so you articulated that statement a little wrong.
I think what Sean's saying
it's not
is
being bad.
You can't, in good conscience, go get, a low down BJ somewhere and then show up to church, like nothing happened either. You have to really walk that path and make those good choices. You are who God made you.
See,
but there's a certain point where you have to live what you're preaching. You have to walk
you're
that
not
walk.
Preaching it. You're a soldier doing the work for the good. You're not out preaching.
Well,
Nobody's
you're not out.
never said we were preachers.
Well, we're not talking about going out destroying demons. We're talking about your daily life, how you live in your life, and what gives you the power to do that.
See, I just look at it totally different.
Well, I think we're both agreeing. We probably just aren't.
Well, how many, how many people have we really helped over the years? Honestly.
I say hundreds.
Several.
I say way.
Who knows what happened after? That's kind of up to them at some point. We definitely gave a lot of people some good advice. I think we definitely relieved enough of the pressure on a lot of folks for them to, really mount their offenses and do their work. We can't do your work for you. We can't make it go away completely if you live the same life you lived when we walked in.
Well, how many people in this field that's been our friends that we've known, that's done the work we've done, and look where they're at now. They're dead. They're sick.
Yes.
They're dying. And
I'm
sick. A lot of them.
I'm sick.
You're sick.
Yeah.
Because me.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's funny. Jake was told years ago that he was sick. Remember?
I'm not sick there.
I'm just saying.
My hands are messed up.
That's sick.
You quit talking about that lady seeing a brown aura around my gut.
No, it was black. Remember? There's a black circle around your aura.
And you and James were like, "Oh, he's full of shit."
Yeah, shit.
Hey,
he was sick.
Good job, guys. Help me out.
You're fucking this Mexican.
Let me ask.
I just dropped the F-bomb.
Oh, hey, but
cares?
hey, speaking of that, did you know the Voodoo Temple in New Orleans burned?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yep. That was odd.
It's odd, isn't it?
Yes.
Very odd.
I thought it was very odd, especially since that's where they did the History Channel about the New Orleans cannibal and all that stuff. I know it's completely jumped subject.
No, hold on. And
So you probably needed to jump.
The odd part for me was the fire department's like right down the street from it.
Yeah.
And it burned down.
Well, a place like that, I don't think it just burns down. Something's up. Do they even, do they have an apartment upstairs? What happened?
Yeah, there was an apartment upstairs.
Is that what started the fire, though?
No, I don't know. Did you know that Katrina and them from the old Paranormal State did a TV show, one of her I don't know what their show's called, and they actually did an investigation of that apartment, so the apartment's still there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So that's definitely still there.
I wonder if it's for rent.
That's pretty cool.
I would be down. I'm ready to go back to New Orleans. We need a New Orleans trip.
Absolutely. Yeah. We are definitely overdue for a New Orleans trip.
I'm ready. I keep the mic. I'm ready to get back to I had so much fun getting away, and we need to get back to getting to work and getting away a little bit. There's some investigations that we can get, some local things to travel and start getting back to work.
Well, the bad thing is we got to pay ticket prices again now.
Yeah.
Because we're not speakers anymore.
But that's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
I don't mind. You know what? That was a lot.
I don't mind the responsibilities.
I didn't mind paying that money to go on that investigation. And then I really didn't. It was like no pressure. And then even when I was asked if I wanted to be, why don't you do this? I'm like, I'm good. I just want to be here.
I think everybody's a lot better with money right now anyway.
Yeah. And you know, the whole speaking thing, I don't know if people wants to hear what we got to say on subjects. But I will tell you this. I think they need to hear some of our opinions on the investigations. We even talked about that at dinner tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I personally, just through social media, have seen these new teams come in, and it's too TV for me. It's too...
Are there new teams now?
Yeah. There's still teams, and they still push social media.
Like, is that still a thing now?
It is
like
still
it was?
a thing,
Yes,
Jake.
absolutely,
I seen it this past weekend. It is still a thing.
Still doing the T-shirts, still going on the investigations.
And you know what?
Is it bad? I just have a hard time believing it.
It's okay though. I used to say, Dave, you tell me if I'm wrong. You tell me real fast, because you and I used to disagree on this, and now I'm gonna see if you changed, and now we still disagree because now I'm in your camp. Well, I think there's absolutely a place for them.
Yeah.
And I used to didn't.
Hold on, now I agree with that. I agree. There is a place. It's just knowing your place. The only problem I have is more and more teams are in the news now of tearing cemeteries up, breaking stuff on investigations, and it's in the news now all the time.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you this, and it's something that I've never had in this field in this past weekend, is watching Marty and all them from ASH investigate. And this is, I'm serious. I felt really proud of the fact is that they said that we helped train them, and that they did an amazing job doing it in the investigation. And at the same time, I appreciated all the things they did for us. You know, they really helped us with being better people. And there's a place for them.
And I don't know if this is just me, but every time I hear we train them, I just have a flashback of that poor guy where they read his jail letters.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and then the couple recorded it.
There was
that was not them.
But that wasn't all them.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But still, it was people. We trained. I don't know how.
But you know what? Like Marty was saying. But think about it. We was not the nicest people to train with.
No, but afterwards you knew your stuff.
But you know what's funny though? I've watched them since they started their group, and I guess they've evolved over the past few years. They still have that passion. They have a passion to do this.
I don't think I've gotten a chance to investigate with them in how long?
Years.
I mean, because I didn't even get a chance to do that at the New Orleans event thing we went to that they did.
You know why? Because y'all were too busy with speaking engagements, having to do this, do this.
Getting so drunk you made dinosaur hands.
Well, hey, whoa.
There was some drinking involved.
That was a good drunk.
Wow.
That was good times.
There was a lot of drinking.
I lost a shoe. We don't know where that shoe went.
You know.
Is that when Marty fell?
No, that's a different time.
Oh, that was the last time me and Sean, Jeremy, and she. I keep saying he. She, whoever that is. We all went and we got so mad at what was going on, and just frustrated that and we just went off to the bar, and Sean discovered he really liked Black Russians.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Wow, really?
And I
drinks.
What's funny, okay.
Wow. Black Russians fitting.
Well, I mean, what else are we talking about here, David?
Well,
I mean, do you know a lot?
I will tell you this. I don't remember drinking Black Russians because I kicked the evening off with a little Jack Daniels. Hey, let me tell you, if you got to know us, there is one thing for sure. I am very shy.
Do you want me to bleep that out?
Yeah, you probably should. Jesus Christ.
Wow. We're wrong. You know what? We don't need scripts. We don't need to. All we need to do is have a topic, or we don't even need that. We're just raw as shit.
What type of topic would you like, Jake Bell?
I'm kind of deflated now.
Why? Because we attack.
Yeah, I don't have the same. See, I can't even think of the word.
What happened,
You're supposed to be the voice of reason to keep us out of trouble.
A lot of drugs.
Man.
Like, legal stuff that I buy.
You just
I would edit that out too.
Yeah, I would definitely edit that out.
It's not wrong.
So since we're doing stuff, let's each of us
edit all this
let's
out.
each of us name our top 5 places we've been to on an investigation. It can be. It could be anywhere.
I'm gonna have a hard time with 5.
I got mine.
All right, go, Dave.
Sloss.
Yeah.
The Richard Dorr House in Mobile.
Yeah.
The Insane Asylum in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Bryce's fun.
Yeah.
What was the house in New Orleans where they cooked
1891 house.
1891 house?
Oh, yeah. I like how you remember it by the breakfast table.
It was by the breakfast.
Yeah, that's Creole Gardens.
That was Creole Gardens.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then
so fat.
Buena Vista for me. When
Yeah.
we went by ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
When we went by ourselves to Buena Vista. So Sloss was good. I wish we could go back alone.
But see, here's the thing. I would like to go back, but I think what we want to go back to to Sloss. It don't exist anymore because people don't realize that we was the first to investigate Sloss. We did it with the news. It was brand new. I mean, with Sloss wasn't brand new, but the idea of investigating a place. It was the haunted house has been there and all that, but we did it so long ago and went right in, and now there's been events and everything else.
But the activity's not at the one where it's dressed up.
Yeah.
No.
I always like to point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at that old part.
It's like
back.
Is it the back? Is it
the
last
tunnel?
one?
Back in the back in that tunnel.
I haven't seen where they do the concerts and everything.
I hadn't seen it lately. No.
So I don't know.
You know, my top five places that I have to say is going to be number one, and I don't know what I experienced or what we experienced was the actual thing there or something found us there was Lafitte's Guest House in New Orleans.
Yeah.
That's number one. That's absolutely, there has not ever been an experience unlike any other. And that's one of those experiences I don't want to share and talk about.
That's one of those experiences, like that I don't even remember for the haunting.
That was creepy. Because we left.
Ridiculous
and we got
other
out in the
stuff.
quarter.
Yeah. So that
part was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the main part. With the door unlocking, the curtains moving, seeing that shadow, and then following it out to the streets, and the streets was empty.
But yeah, there was nobody on any of the streets in the French Quarter.
That door unlocking was pretty weird because you just heard the click click and you saw it open.
Yeah.
Nobody.
And we was waiting for the owner, the guy that ran it, James, at that time to come in, and there was nobody there.
Yeah.
So that's number one to me, and I think that stands out. My number two place. Here's the thing: when it comes to like investigation wise, or it comes down to like experience, just a cool place. So I'm gonna say just the cool places down in my bottom two, but investigation wise, and it's gonna be Buena Vista when you're alone.
Absolutely, that's a good one.
You know, it really is. That's a really cool place, and it has all the makeups that you want to investigate and everything to look for. Number three is Bryce. You know, the old Bryce Hospital in the Northport. Mm-hmm. Really,
Buena Vista really is above that.
Well, mine wasn't in order. Mine were just the
five. Okay, we're not going in order.
No, I was just saying my top five.
You're just top five.
Yeah, just my top five. I have a hard time putting them in order because they all come in different categories.
True, they're all different.
Yes.
Yeah, they're all different. I got two more left, so then I'm gonna come back and I'm definitely gonna say the Rathbone Inn in New Orleans with the experience I had there.
Yeah.
That's something else. And then my last one is going to be the Stanley Hotel just because it was just a cool experience.
Because you got to go there.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a cool experience. And I was disappointed I didn't have anything happen, and then we was downstairs in the basement and had a door shut.
Yeah. You're just like, hey, it's a Stanley.
Yeah, I was like, thank you, good, and I'm at Stanley, yeah. Now, you know, right up there you have to look at some of the other places, but like Waverly, but it's Waverly. And, Brushy Mountain was really cool.
See, I'm not much of a classic haunting guy.
Well, tell us yours.
Well, Bryce, no matter what you say, it's not classic. That's something else entirely.
But here's the thing. I believe, I come from the same frame of thought that, I think it was John Kill talked about, or no, Taft. Was it Dr. Taft? Is that his name?
Well, what you talking about, and I'll tell you.
The haunting, where basically... I don't know about locations are haunted or people are more haunted than locations.
I think it was Taft.
Taft, yeah, that's who it is. That's exactly who it is.
Now, another person said that a lot too, but I don't know if I got that from him or not.
Who?
Me.
Yeah, you did say it. You did.
I think I probably got that from some old
I agree
coast to
with that
coast
statement
interview.
right now more than ever. That people are more haunted than locations.
And what I really liked about Bryce, what really kind of turned me on about it is it's very desolate.
Yeah.
You're not getting to it by car. Like you're not pulling up to it unless you screw your car up.
Yeah.
You've got to park at a gate and walk. So the whole time you're worried about other people showing up.
Yeah.
You're worried about police showing up if you didn't tell them you were going, which doesn't happen.
There's no power.
Absolutely no power. It's how long has it been closed down, Sean? Before
since the 70s, I believe.
Yeah. So,
wow.
And we're
now
doing the investigation in
the 90s.
Okay.
But the Bryce was.
Yeah, and we're doing our stuff in the aughts or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
And completely dark, except for what you bring. And you have this whole urban legend thing about it. Where, is there a particular legend about it, or is it just that, hey, it's haunted, it's crazy?
You know what? It's just that it's crazy energy there.
And
It's
and you're not looking at like ghosts of insane people. It's something totally different.
Oh, it's something totally different. One of the things that stood out to me once you asked me about that, of course, exactly what happened to me that we got on film.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is us keep hearing the call buttons go off. And Rick and Bubba investigated it. Where there used to be 13 Nights of Horror, whatever it was, and they kept saying the phone kept ringing. And Burnett, one of our guys, basically said that's not phone, that's the hospital call bell in those nursing homes. And we actually heard that with our ears. And one of the things that people don't, I hear people talking.
Go ahead and tell your story, because we're giving everybody, we're teasing them and teasing them on all these stories, and we're not telling any of them.
Well, this is what we was there that night, and it was basically up on the 3rd floor, and it was me and Jake and Hump, and then our friend, our brother James, who's since passed away, was all on that floor. James had the video camera filming it, and I don't remember who was in front of me or what, but
yeah, James had one and I had one.
Yeah, and we made our way through the it was almost like a meeting area at the end of the place, and we made our way toward that hallway, and as we walked through the doorway, I remember distinctly seeing it was a full black mass of a man. It wasn't ghostly, it wasn't see-through, it was just a full black shadow man. And he clearly punched me in the face.
Yep.
I mean, he physically punched me in the face. So real, so true that it was.
You can hear the
thud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything about that was not ghostly. It was some man punching me in my face, and I got knocked back into James. And James would even tell you that in our minds at that time, it was a transient up there. It was somebody up there that we walked up on.
And that's immediately what we thought.
Yeah.
Like we didn't go to ghost right away at all.
And then it physically, you could hear it run through the hallway. You heard it run to the fire escape, and you heard it jump from the little window to the fire escape.
Yeah, you heard the tink, 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 tink of it going down the fire escape.
And when Officer Humphrey began his foot chase, which he should, because Hump, you can tell your side, but I don't remember if you've seen it or not, but you gave a foot chase, and then you end up saying, man, there's no more, the fire escape, only 2 steps left.
Yeah.
So,
but also, as soon as we had started that, and I took off after them through the fire escape, knowing you couldn't get down, we thought we was on the left hand of the building, but we was on the right hand side. We got completely disoriented of where we were, but there was people out front. And remember the little white lights we saw? We thought that was them.
Yeah, remember
it was not them.
When we initially looked out the door that led to the fire escape, we saw little what looks like a handheld flashlight running away in the field. Just kind of bobbing up and down like it was running. And we radioed and said, hey, where's everybody at? Are you outside? And they're like, no, we're first floor.
Yes.
And one of the things that I hadn't really talked about forever about this is that, you remember when it knocked me down, it kind of cracked like a spiritual egg or something, where I started getting horrible images and seeing stuff. Remember, I almost freaked out. Where I got disoriented. We all was completely disoriented.
Oh, you were, we had to get you out.
Yeah.
Is that the same night that we then moved down to the corridor to where it was 2 hallways, 2 doorways, and we stood in the middle, and it felt like people surrounded us.
Yes.
And we completely
that happened immediately after.
Because we moved from where you got hit, past the fire escape, back into that 4-door corridor.
For some reason, we were really worried if we were going to make it to the stairs.
That's right. It was so creepy.
But see, here's the thing. We talk about weird stuff in my mind, and then I'll say it, which I used to have a hard time saying it, completely being honest with the complete story. In my mind, and I'll tell you now, I'm completely convinced that we slipped through a little warp.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we was not in...
Like we weren't in any particular space.
No.
We weren't
fully.
in real time.
No.
Yeah,
we were somewhere else.
Like a blend of things.
Yes. I mean, I'm completely convinced of that.
Yeah.
Because there was a moment while we felt surrounded, we felt that we didn't think we could get back where we needed to be.
Yeah.
And that's one of the many things that we experienced, you know, and I think that's something I guess a lot of people hadn't experienced.
It's easy, it's easy to shoot holes in it, but unless you were there, it's kind of hard to.
And it's okay to shoot holes in it.
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's stories, man.
For the listeners too, we did go back the next day during the daylight hours, and there was no. Look, cat, get
my
this
cat.
damn
My cat
off
is
me.
now. David, I gave you the spray bottle. Do not assault the cat. Please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna beat your cat.
Just spray the cat, and she will leave.
Got me, man.
I'm sorry.
He's afraid to piss out of me. He missed the cat completely and just gave me a shower. It's all right.
You know, we went back and there was no human way that a human could have got down the fire escape.
No. There was two stairs there, and then there was like a bunch of kudzu or vines or something.
We were 3 stories up.
Yeah, 3 stories up.
On the side where we saw the lights, that was another wall. That was another part of the back building where the morgue was, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So we thinking we're seeing the lights run through the woods. There's no way because it went through a building.
Yeah, exactly. It was all pretty weird, really.
Yeah.
The only thing is I lost complete sense of direction.
And that's what's really cool about a genuine experience like that is it doesn't fit any tropes, really. It's just super weird. And there's no explanation.
The cool thing, I mean, it's cool now, I guess, but it wasn't at the time. I've never lost my sense of direction to where I didn't know where we were going or what was happening, where we were at, lost completely where we were at. I mean, that's creepy.
You guys threatened to beat me up.
Who did?
You did.
I was mad at you, Jake. And
he and James, you were out of it completely.
No, Sean was out of it. James was freaking out. I was mad because I didn't even know where I was at.
You were super mad, and James was super mad, and I was trying to tell you guys where the stairs were, and I was getting threats.
Yes, because
I was the only one that was like, the stairs are that way. And you're like, no!
They're this way.
Yeah, we had to argue about it.
Because I was completely lost.
Yeah. Well, I've always been the one that's kind of, what would you say, Sean?
Voice of reason.
I guess.
You are the voice of reason.
He's been the voice of reason or the Debbie Downer?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Debbie Downer.
Debbie Downer or voice of reason. He can be both.
It's the same job, really.
Yeah. You're doing a good job, too, Jay.
I mean, I wasn't trying to...
But that wasn't a Debbie Downer. That was
me trying to get you guys out. Yeah.
But see, Jake, I really believe that Jake was probably terrified just as much as anyone.
Oh, yeah, sure. I handle those kind of situations well for some weird reason.
Well, I thought I did.
You know, here's the thing. Here's the difference, though. Jake handles it logically, and we've always handled situations like that. Let's go get it.
Yeah, more physically.
Or more like...
Y'all tend to kind of freak a bit.
Yeah, let's just get it.
And I completely shut down and just go to logic. And that's it.
Yeah, see, I don't. I said, let's go balls to the wall.
I'm the one calling the police and getting in the car.
It's not a party till the police show up.
Yes.
Which I've done that.
I agree with that. That was a good story. That's a good place, though.
Yeah.
Is it still around? Did they tear it down?
I don't know if they tore it down or not.
I know they've been threatening to tear it down for a while.
Yeah, they've been threatening to tear it down for
forever.
A long time.
It's too bad that whole property's not being used for something.
True.
So was that? What's your 5, Jake?
Okay, that was number 1.
That was number 1.
Number 2, I'm gonna go with Lafitte's Guest House.
Okay.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Rathbone again.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Number 4, see, I'm having trouble with 4 and 5. Because then that gets into private stuff for me.
Well, Jake, was the Rathbone Inn as good as we want it to be, or was it all the entertainment that showed up with it?
Both.
Okay, thank you. You remember that, Sean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which parts are we talking about?
Sean's too busy texting.
No, I'm not texting. I'm
well,
thinking.
What's funny is like he thinks he's slick, but you can just hear his little vibrations on the mic.
All right. You know what? Here's a great thing. Here's a great thing about where we're at right now.
Sellers.
Actually, I'm working, and these are work texts coming through.
Really?
On my Crenshaw County thing.
Okay. Is that the game we're playing?
We'll give you that.
That's the game we're playing.
We'll give you that, teacher.
Okay. All right. You go back to the Rathbone, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had the opportunity to spend a lot of time there at the Rathbone, different times.
Indian boots.
Yeah. But the one thing that stands out to me is that
I'm telling that story.
Yeah, you need to.
Go ahead.
But the one thing that stands out to me about that place when we first went there, and how we got there, and how the one room with it, no one could stay there, and I kept calling it the red room, or the pink room, whatever. And
you kept calling it the red room, and I think it was actually blue.
Yes, but when I was in there, in my mind, I saw it as that red, and that was the room where the guy died.
No one questioned you either.
Yeah.
I knew what room you were talking about. I guess Hump did.
Nobody said a word to him. I mean, the room is blue as blue can get. He goes, that's the red room. Okay, it's the red room.
And that was while we was there that weekend is the night when I was in the back part of that room, and I had something blow in my ear.
I remember I sat up and you went, "Did you hear that?" And I went,
yeah.
Yep. We were like, "We're getting out of here."
Jake, I was in like a small, like a twin bed. Jake was on the air mattress in the floor, and in a conjoining hallway open was a big bed. I think Hump and James was in.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
And then that's when we all went to that one area.
And Sean, for some reason, has this, I don't know, urge that he's going to sleep somewhere haunted. And I keep having to tell him that has never happened except one time.
But isn't that where you fell to slip down the stairs, Jake?
No, that was Creole Gardens.
Creole Gardens, okay.
Where I wrote it down and I carried that Diet Pepsi with me.
All the way down. Never dropped a drop.
Spun like a turtle at the bottom.
So go ahead and tell your Indian boot story.
Well, we kind of mentioned briefly that Marty and them had a event. How long was it ago? Not this past Halloween. But
it was a year ago in October.
And we walk in. They have their whole team there, and we're just supposed to show up and kind of be cool, do some speaking stuff, like we used to. And we go to meet their team, and there's this one little short dude from Mississippi. And he has got on straight up Indian boots. Now, when I say Indian boots, I mean leather boots, the white sole, and it's got that kind of frilly stuff, where it's cut out of leather, the tassels. And at first, I'm like, man, that guy's a dork. But then we kind of go through the night, and we're like, man, those Indian boots are looking better and better. And I talked to Sean about it, and I'm like, you want some Indian boots? He's like, I would love some Indian boots.
Yes. I still would like some Indian boots.
I still would too. For some reason, I started talking to that guy, and he was pretty cool.
And has he blocked you yet with all the emails and texts you would send him?
Why do you keep thinking I do that?
Well, answer the question, please.
Well, I don't know. Over there.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't know. He can hear me over yours.
Why is he getting all offensive on it?
Maybe because I'm being attacked.
I think I'm being attacked. I think I've crossed the line. It's okay.
You know what I just thought
it's
of?
All right.
Something totally off the wall.
Not you.
Yes.
What's that?
You remember when we had the event for Halloween at Buena Vista and the guy from Tennessee come down? And, he was talking about when the new TVs were coming out.
Yeah.
How if they were on, they were brainwashing you and stuff.
Signal.
Isn't it funny that this past year, Samsung supposedly got in a lot of trouble for doing that?
Well, that's not what they were doing.
Was recording through them.
What the trouble was about wasn't the what he was talking about was that hertz or infrasound that it would put off, which that's pretty crappy science. But do you think it's true now? No, it's not.
You don't believe that at all. I believe it is.
I believe it.
I think there's a much easier ways to do that, and they're already doing it.
I think they're absolutely using these TVs and stuff to eavesdrop on you.
Because
the eavesdrop, yeah. No, what he was talking about, the guy from Tennessee, is different from eavesdrop.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying both though. I'm saying mind manipulation.
The newer TVs kind of come like laptops where they have cameras in them, and
not only that, they can get Wi-Fi. Yeah, they can get on the internet.
Yeah, of course.
So I mean, you could, if it was on, you could get in it.
Called as VPN. VPN, virtual private network.
But I'm saying, don't you think that it could hypnotize somebody? That they have certain things that if you're watching it long enough, you can be hypnotized?
Yeah. I mean, the brain falls into a certain state, not just with TV, with driving. Well, yeah. Now, are they doing some sort of magic things with the TVs that make you hypnotized? They don't have to. They don't.
No, I think our society's so weak that they're already doing that. They don't have to do that.
And I think that what you're seeing is what is being mass produced for you to see. If you look at kind of the down low of people that have any kind of brains, most of them don't even watch TV anymore. At the most they'll watch YouTube or they'll look up something, but they've kind of cut the cord. A lot of folks these days. I mean, think about network TV.
They cut the cord because more intelligent, open-minded, I'd say middle-class people really don't have time for it. It's the ones, the younger generation that are zombies, that are like the problem, society's problem. They're the ones sitting watching TV all day.
Well, the problem's poor choices. Where do poor choices originate?
But
in the home, man.
We can also spin this around too. We talked about this 10 years ago. Yeah. That this was coming.
Well, yeah, it's just gotten worse.
Absolutely.
Well, not necessarily worse, but the lines are really clear. Like it's to an extreme, more of an extreme point now, whereas the zombification wasn't as bad back then, it's worse now with the people that were.
But if you think about a lot of our predictions,
yeah,
it does make sense.
Okay.
But think about all the predictions we made. I know for a fact that Jake and Hump, I think, made a prediction almost 9 years ago in October that my marriage would never last. And it worked, right?
Nope.
It didn't last. There you go. A lot of predictions we
We're
made that came
Trump,
true.
she's insane. And you're like, but I love her.
She's crazy, but I love her.
I was like, all right, man.
That conversation came up.
I like how you blamed me there for a little bit. Remember that?
Oh, I did. Yeah. Well, I have to find somebody to blame.
Sean, you were punching back.
I was the scapegoat.
Well,
why didn't you say
Well, here's
me?
the thing, huh?
It's like, bro, I think we tried to.
If let's say, as soon as everything went down, Jake and Jeremy both reinforced how they didn't like her and they never trusted her and all this stuff.
Which was apparent.
Don't you think it's important to tell me?
Yeah, from the
Sean, I think I told you for 9 years there, bro.
Or 9 years, like don't wait. I mean, that's stuff you should.
I like how Sean's like seeing and remembering kind of what. If you remember that you had to ask me as a brotherly favor to get along with her.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
I think I've been pretty transparent.
Jake, we also got this brotherly favor. Hey, will you drive to Atlanta in the middle of the night to go pick her up?
Yes. Yeah.
That did happen.
Yes.
Happened.
Wow.
Happened.
But you know what?
It's okay.
Here's the thing.
I would do it because you asked me.
But I appreciate that because it's funny how David, Mr. Hump.
Oh, I know he's gonna start calling that out.
Wants to start talking about brotherly favors and stuff.
Brother.
Hey, brother.
Brother.
I'm not even gonna go there.
What?
There's no need to go places.
Oh no.
Because this is a new day, a new beginning, a new show.
But we should go there. Just go ahead and go.
What's the name of the show?
Where do you want to begin?
I mean, I love to be entertained.
What's the name of the show, fellas?
I forgot the name.
Midnight at the Crossroads.
See, David knows it.
Get down.
Come on, you gotta remember this stuff. Midnight at the Crossroads.
I'm just waiting for one of y'all to be like, down at the cross, and no.
No, nobody's done that. I mean, it's Midnight at the Crossroads.
I'm proud.
Midnight at the Crossroads.
At least you wouldn't. I would rather you not remember it.
You know what? I think that we are completely destined to be Midnight at the Crossroads.
We have to be on brand.
Yeah. And now, where do we plan on taking this show? Are we going to go with guests? Or are we going to come with better topics? Because tonight we have been all over the place, but for a reason, though.
I think right now we got to get our groove back a bit.
Yeah.
As everyone can tell, I'm pretty awkward behind the mic at the moment. So I don't know how good I'd be at interviewing.
I don't want to interview nobody.
This is the first time Jake said a lot of stuff.
Yeah, Jake's done good.
Yeah. But, I mean...
I don't have to run everything.
Do we have to really sit here and think about... I mean, do we have to have a topic every week, or...
No, not necessarily. I mean, it just depends on what we want to talk about. And we don't have to have a particular length either.
There's a lot of things to talk about, though.
What was the EVP we had? Was it thick wood?
Thick wood.
Was that what it was?
That's what she told me.
Thick wood.
It was thick wood.
Oh, we were listening to some lady was letting us listen to an EVP that they had taken. It was in a house in my hometown. And they were going through, and they're like, let's see, there's these wood blinds, and and you hear them talking about these wood blinds, and someone comes over the tape and goes, thick wood. It's free thick wood.
I remember the first time out of all these years, and I think we were in Enterprise. Oh, shit! That little cat just bit the shit out of me.
Did you deserve it?
God. I mean, shit. I ought to shoot that cat.
Leave that cat. That cat
just bit my damn calf, man. Are you kidding me?
Why?
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you.
Are you kidding me?
That is the first time that's ever happened.
God.
Jenny was reminding me of this. Do you remember when we had that brown dog?
Yes.
That's in that picture over there?
Yeah.
You remember that dog?
Yeah.
Well, we were doing a very similar thing at my apartment where we were all set up recording, and David pushed the dog off like being a big brutish butthole.
Yeah.
And the dog shit on him.
Yeah.
Just curled up like a cocktail shrimp and on a shoe.
Just because when I was fixing to tell this part, that cat bit me. That cat bit me to make me realize about how true this story
Well, you know, it's not the first time that the cat has bit you. It's very symbolic.
The cat bites back.
It's very symbolic. The first time that I really ever got to where, like, you remember the big cloud? You remember when we was investigating that house?
The big cloud. I don't remember her name.
There she blows, Robin.
I remember a lot of big clouds.
There's a lot of clouds.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
We had a pumpkin t-shirt. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, are you done with the pumpkin joke?
I'm done.
You remember when we was investigating the house, we were sitting in the hallway? And I think I just got divorced.
It was a bad
Things
time.
were out of control.
I remember on the ride back, I was talking to Sean. I was
horrible.
like, why did you bring him?
Yeah, I was a wreck. Everything was out of control.
You were sick.
I was sick on top of that.
Wasn't it your birthday?
It was my birthday week.
It was.
I mean, yeah, I remember the woman that we investigated made a cake because she felt so sorry for me.
It was a satanic ritual abuse case.
Yes.
It was.
The satanic ritual abuse case. I'm sick. Birthday, just divorced, freshly divorced. Just completely out of control, and I got. And it seemed like years.
Go ahead and tell it.
Even more too.
Go ahead and tell it.
You want to tell it?
Tell it.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it.
We were sitting down doing the prayer, trying to do the whole cleansing thing.
Yeah.
And David saw.
Well, I saw. I mean, just black, like it looked like a black cloud come straight to me. But at the same time, remember the dogs at the door?
Yeah, the dogs started.
They jumped into the door.
Jumping on the glass door, and I just knew I was got from the get go. I mean, it just come to me and it was like a blanket, a black blanket that wrapped around me.
Well, I remember sitting there watching it, and it literally looked like a bed sheet coming across the room.
Yes.
And it didn't just hit you; it wrapped itself around you, and we could not physically see you. We just saw that black
cloud, or we call it a black cloud, but. It was just something, but I knew I was got, and it took a long time to get it off.
But here's the question to ask, and when we tell these stories, people say, "Well, what type of evidence do you get?" It was like, "Yeah, we didn't record it."
No.
But if we would have been recording it, we wouldn't have had that visual.
No, I think it's a bit of the eye of the beholder. Him and that cat. Where I don't think anything would have happened if we would have had a video camera on it.
Mm-mm.
I've become kind of convinced of that.
Yes, absolutely.
Man,
I think.
Have you noticed how many stories we have of David getting sick? I just remember.
There's only been a few.
You threw up in front of Jimmy Johnson.
You threw up in front of Jimmy Johnson. You got sick at the Mexican and Natchez, which they talked about this weekend.
Yeah.
You got sick
in New Orleans
in the Full Moon barbecue parking lot.
Yes, but you ready for this? Every one of those times I got sick, there was something really good going on. Though.
Full Moon barbecue parking lot.
Well, yeah, because we went to the library.
Yeah, but what was good?
What was good going on?
We went to the library,
good going on?
But I flew back.
Yeah, well, I would have flown back.
I flew back from Miami, and I come to Birmingham and met y'all and got sick.
That's right. Yeah.
Sir, we really don't recommend Chow Chow as a side.
Yeah, Chow Chow.
Was the Chow Chow with the Moo Moo on or off that made you sick?
Probably on.
Did she own any other clothes besides the Moo Moo?
No.
That's a serious question.
No.
Do I need to edit this out?
No.
I think we've met her 5 times, and every time I've met her, she had a Moo Moo on.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is creepy as hell. You're right.
Like a moo and wasn't there like socks and like tennis and like
socks and sandals and moo-moos.
Now I know what Jake's talking about. There was one instance she had on socks and some athletic shoes.
Yeah, that was grosser.
See, I don't remember.
And she had the socks was pushed down.
Why is that grosser than the sandals?
I don't know.
It is, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you'd think sandals would be just
but you know,
acceptable.
Yeah, man, we are kind of going down new avenues, and we're definitely rekindling some of the old stuff.
And guys, if you made it this far, you're a champion, because it's like an hour and 11 minutes in, and it's just been hot garbage. Well, there's been some gems in the hot garbage. Like there's probably a full hot dog in there somewhere. But
should we stop for the evening and see?
It's up to you guys.
I think stopping to see what you can do.
But let's try to
we
need to close
get out
it out.
of it. Yeah, we got to get out.
You got to get out of it.
David, you know the spiel. Channel is Midnight at the Crossroads. This is straight up what it is. You search Midnight at the Crossroads on YouTube, you will get there.
Awesome.
David's going to share it on Facebook.
Yeah.
So
contact us if they want an investigation.
You ready?
Yes. You can contact us through the channel or through the comments. Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're fixing to close out. And with saying that, don't forget to check us out on YouTube, Midnight at the Crossroads. Also, check out our personal Facebook pages. And if you got questions or need us to check out something or need Sean for anything, contact us on Facebook. No, I mean, seriously. If there's stuff going on, they know what we can do and they know what we're about. They can contact us anytime.
Why is that not making it better?
Please don't contact.
Please don't contact.
I have nothing to offer anymore.
No, Sean's done. No, seriously, check us out on YouTube, Midnight at the Crossroads, and check out our personal Facebook pages. This show will be loaded up in the next few days.
Check out my personal Facebook page.
No, I mean seriously.
That's how I do my business.
Really, Jay?
What?
And if you got any comments or suggestions about the show,
leave it below.
Just leave it below.
I'm not gonna.
And if it's negative, comments. I'm gonna probably delete it.
I'm not gonna do that.
All right. No,
I have the password.
All right, Jake, we messed it up, and it was such a good outro.
This is fine.
Okay.
You did really good.
I mean, it's all good.
You got it back.
Really
but now you got to close it out. What are you doing over there?
I'm just listening.
You know, David, you're gonna call him out on that. For 5 years,
I am, because he used to get on my ass and talk all that shit about me on mine. He goes on the first show tonight, and he's been on the phone.
Well, I am so glad we don't let bygones be bygones. I'm so glad about that, because I don't know. Well, we're all not perfect.
Hey,
that's the big thing.
I'd be in the chat room, and I'd be in trouble every show.
Well, here's the serious thing.
Are we gonna have to put our phones in a basket?
Yeah, we'll have to put them. Here's the serious thing. Please check us out on YouTube. Please message Hump and everybody on Facebook. We'll have hopefully maybe even have a Facebook page up at some point, or website.
How do you advertise personal Facebook pages? Like do you want me to link that on the channel or something?
No, not on my page.
No, mine.
We need our own page.
No, we'll.
David.
Yeah,
we'll
get on that.
Page.
But we'll have to come up with an email address.
I got one. I have one.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get that started, and maybe Jake can get it added so everybody knows they can email us through that and go ahead and get that rolling. Because I think that's imperative. If you want us to come speak at an event, I promise you we can speak on anything you want us to speak on, and we won't be as crazy as we are on the show. And if we can help you out with any private cases or anything, please hit us up. Any questions or anything, please let us know. We'll be happy to try to answer it and help you out in any way. And we'll appreciate it, and we're excited about the opportunity to be back. And I hope you guys can hear our sincerity, and hope you enjoy what we're going to put out there for you guys.
And the only guy that has commented on any of our videos so far, I see you. I don't remember your username, but you're a good guy. If anybody asks us questions in the comments, in the next show we will definitely answer them. And good night.
All right, good night.
Good night.